ni Larry Muyang. Mahirap kayang palitan ng isang Balti Baltazar, but at the end of the day, he is not following someone else's footsteps. But of course, he wants to build a name of his own. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. Yun naman simula pa lang. Laging malinaw na sa kanya yun, as we see the quarter scoring here. Very tight first quarter. Bagyang lumayo yung Pampanga with a 38-point second quarter. And then adding on in the third, Kuya Lars.
That's Kuya Lars.
Oh,
who's the dad of Theo, who I think we'll see later. Pero to your point, si Coach Pedic has done all the best that he could to try and tama naman yun. Ang hirap naman palitan ng Balti Baltazar. Sino ba hindi ganun kadaling makakakuha. Kaya it's been a collective effort for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, if you ask me. And I don't recall, as you see that good finish by J-Mo Egules. When you look at their games where they lost, I don't think they've lost huge double digits. The most deficit that they've lost is actually 14 points. In double digits only in 2 games. Against Zamboanga where they lost by 13, and then against Abra where they lost by 14. And that to me, without a Balti Baltazar, is already an achievement in itself.
Derecho until that last second dish, Renz Palma to J-Mo Eguilos.
Si Renz
Palma.
Tama.
Tama na.
Okay na. I got you.
Okay na.
17
puntos ang labang. 88-71. Arboleda is joined by Joseph Terzo, Wawi Escocio, Jeff Comia, and Raymart Escobedo. Harold Mintes galing sa 3. Palma nakuha yung rebound. Siya na rin magbababa dito.
Oh, layo.
Allen Mina. Di nasalon ng maigi yung pasa doon.
A miscom between Allen and Renz, because Renz was thinking deep in the corner. Samantalang ito naman si Allen, parang more comfortable, lifted a little bit than that deep corner side. Kasi kanina twice tumira siya doon, nahirapan siyang makabasket.
Comia now against Chris Lalata.
Oh,
the crossover, eluding the defense of Chris, but met by a plethora of defenders. Now it's Escocio, multiple pump fakes, and sent back to the friend zone by Chris Lalata, and it leads to a fast break layup by Renz Palma.
Oh, forget it. Renz Palma, that side of the floor. Medyo nadulas pa yun, bago siya mag-elevate. I thought he could have gone a little bit higher, pero nadulas on that takeoff. Good thing is, basket pa rin para kay Renz.
90-71. 19-point lead. Joseph Terzo missing the jumper from the outside. Andre Armenion. Renz Palma free for a free. No good. Outlet by Arboleda to Escobedo.
Oh, wow.
Nice shuffle. And the points coming from Raymart Escobedo.
Literally froze that defense of Renz Palma. He didn't know where that ball was going, left or right. But Raymart says, "Nah, we're going middle."
Oh, Palma finding Eguilos short. Palma gets it back, too strong on that putback attempt. Escobedo balik kay Joseph Terzo. Pulls the trigger. No. Rebound Pampanga. Under 7 minutes left. Ahead by 17 points. Andre Armenion gets to his spot. Left it short. Chris Lalata, wala. Nasa kanya pa rin. Nalunod siya doon sa ilalim.
Sobrang lalim.
4-on-4. Jeff Comia lost it. Eguilos. Muntik ng maagaw, but Palma is free. 2 points plus a foul away from the basketball. As Arboleda and Chris Lalata get entangled once again.
Arboleda's done. That's number 5.
Mabigat for Davao Occidental. Now down to 11 players.
see that drive right there. Ganda ng tawag dyan, Gortat screen nito ni Chris Lalata, and he got pulled down by Harold Arboleda. Not a good foul at all by Harold. He could have just given it up and then run the other way.
Fouling out, 2 points, 5 rebounds. Pariliagas will replace Wawi Escocio. At Moxie Jancher sa Lubre, papalit kay Harold Arboleda. So a small lineup for the Tigers as they try to change the complexion of this ball game. 92-73. Allen Mina is free for a free. No good. Bola tinapo ng Davao after grabbing the rebound. Under 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Pampanga seeking their 19th win as they want to tie up Pasay in the team standings. Renz Palma with another layup.
Renz has been very active here in the fourth quarter. He's got 11 in the game. Lalo na dito sa fourth quarter, talagang sumabao ito si Renz Palma.
When you consider, Coach Mike, Caloocan just lost yesterday against Ilagan Isabela. That's why they are tied with Pampanga and Pangasinan at 18-8. Tomorrow, Pasay and Pangasinan will play against different opponents. Pasay versus Imos. Pangasinan has a much tougher assignment in Rizal, although they will play at home tomorrow on Rosales as Renz Alcoriza scores. So again, yung kahigpitan dun sa karera para sa 4, 5, and 6 in the North, at ayaw mo mapabilang na ikaw yung kaisa-isang team na kailangan pang dumaan sa play-in.
Correct. Kasi it really just complicates things when you get in the play-in. And so you wanna get to the path of least resistance. Good alley-oop to Chris Lalata.
98-73. And when you look at how Ilagan Isabela fared against those teams we've mentioned, Pampanga, Pangasinan, Caloocan, and Pasay, well, they beat Caloocan. They lost to the other three. But all of those games were pretty much competitive.
Very true. And I feel Ilagan, much as their struggles of late, they're a dangerous team to meet in the playoffs. And the reason that I say that is they've gone up really good against the other big teams, and that team, in my opinion, similar to Bacolod, is gonna see action later on. Walang give up yung mga yun eh. Kahit na you see games where hindi masyadong pumupunto si Art de la Cruz, and the games na wala si Art de la Cruz, but other guys step up and the intensity doesn't change.
I mean, they lost to Pasay by 4. That was only their second game. And then they lost to Pangasinan by 2. And then losing out to Pampanga just by 5. So yung average losing margin, napakaliit among those three teams. And then, kamakailan lang, tinalo nga nila yung Caloocan by 13. And they did it on the home floor of Caloocan.
Exactly. And katulad nga ng sinasabi natin, those guys never get counted out in games.
Although, again, just going back and shifting our focus once again dito sa Pampanga, they have winnable games after this one. Bulacan, although they go up against Muntinlupa, who is also desperate to not only snap their losing skid, which is the second worst in the league right now, but also, despite all those, they're still pretty much in the picture na maka-advance pa rin towards the play-in.
Correct. At saka, importante talaga dito ma-avoid mo yung play-in for the Giant Lanterns, and so they want to secure this. Meantime, ito namang Davao really just knocking on that door in the hope that they get entry into the play-in.
98-75. 23-point lead. Well, Davao, well, unless they make some sort of comeback here, even if they go on and drop this ball game, they still have 3 games remaining. They're tied with Cebu and Muntinlupa and Sarangani in terms of wins.
Yeah, it's 10 and 16 right now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 10 and 15. If they lose this, they'll be on 10 and 16. So they should tie with Muntinlupa. Yeah.
Raymart Escobedo, 21 points. Siya yung mostly nag-carry ng fight para sa Davao in this second half because Jeff Comia, after scoring 18 points, medyo nanlamig na ang kanyang opensa here in the second half.
Yeah, kasi naka 2 points na lang si Jeff Comia. He's got 20 right now, but he did have 4 rebounds, a couple of assists to go with his scoring. And that's the thing about you take over the first half, understanding that the games are decided in the second half, and so that's where most of your efforts to try and win games should be. Or if you started strong, then you really just have to sustain it on the second half. Archie and JLC getting their much needed rest. At saka at this point, if you can get your key players a good rest, you would, especially because you really would want everyone to be healthy come the playoffs.
Actually, si Archie saka si Larry Muyang hindi na naglaro nitong second half
Yes.
They only played the entire second quarter. That was it.
That's right.
Muyang had 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, while Archie Concepcion had 5 points in that entire second period.
Yeah, but yung laro nila yon was enough to get separation, lalo na dun sa bench scoring. 47 versus 19 yung bench scoring that time. And talagang napakalaking tulong naman yon. It helped get that good rhythm and that flow, and I felt that heave of that 3 to end the first half by CJ Delfino really helped the Giant Lanterns gain a good momentum heading into the second quarter.
At yun naman yung gusto mo kung ikaw yung Pampanga, na mukhang may goaltend laban sa Davao Occidental na Coach Mike, di ba?
Yes.
Yung top 2 scorers mo hindi masyado naglaro, pero yung iba pinakita na they could still handle their business against Davao Occidental. As we have a timeout here with 1 minute and 39 left. Pampanga looks like they will cruise to their 19th victory, while Davao looks like will drop their assignment here. And we'll be back after the short break. These are the remaining games of the Davao Occidental Tigers. September 23 versus Manila Batang Quiapo. September 25 against the Abra Solid North Weavers. And on the 29th, they will square off against the Quezon City Galleries Taipan.
And so, considering yung remaining na assignments and where they are right now, this is an impending loss, so they should end up with 10 and 16. At best, if they win over Manila and Quezon City, they'll get to 12 and 16. And the question though is that, will that be enough for them to land in the play-in?
181 Chancer Salubre. Little bit too late though.
Yes. Alam mo itong Giant Lanterns, much as this is a really good win for them, talagang nakikita mo na kahit na wala at hindi masyado nakapaglaro ng quarter ang kanilang mga key starters. Oh, what a finish by CJ Delfino.
Oh.
I was gonna say, you know, the other guys really stepped up for them.
Oh, kapilang na dyan, si CJ Delfino. Alam mo, pre-game ni Andrea kanina, baka may kakaiba na naman mangyari. Eh, nangyari na nga.
Oo.
Oh. Yung half-court shot kanina ni CJ Delfino. Chancer Salubre. That will roll out. He try to get it back. Wala pa din. Now, for Davao, they still have that inside track for that play-in spot. They have Manila Knicks, then Abra. While Muntinlupa, ang mga kalaban pa nila, Quezon at Pampanga.
Yes.
Cebu naman has Bacolod on their remaining schedule, while Sarangani, they still have Caloocan. While Imus, they'll play Pasay tomorrow, and then they'll go up against Quezon and Pangasinan to round out their campaign.
Correct. And so I felt that game against Rizal where Muntinlupa had a good chance to try and, you know, get that win over Rizal, and it puts them in a situation where they must win these remaining games, including that one with Abra, and hope that the other teams battling it out for the final play-in slot